Hi everyone, I am Coach Steve, and for those new to the channel, I specialize in reviewing half and full distance races around the world. And recently, as part of that exercise, I created a video about what's happening to all the full distance races with Ironman Arizona being discontinued, etc., and whether or not we got any more races or less races. That's videos in the comments below if you're interested. But a really good question came up in terms of how much have the prices increased over the last 10 years? And I initially thought, wow, that's going to be difficult to find. And then I thought, hang on, I've been racing Ironman races for 15 plus years. So I have credit card records and I've got my active.com. So I actually was able to pull the information together. And this is what we talked through in the video. So let's get to it. What I'm going to go through, just some assumptions and caveats, because it's actually quite a difficult exercise because there's different ways of looking at it, etc. What the Ironman prices have over in the 10 plus years. I have more data for Europe because I haven't raced that often over in the States or elsewhere. Um, I do have data because I have started to race more transatlantic races, as I do love them. I'll have that more over the years. And then my observations and thoughts. Are we getting fleeced by Ironman? Are we being too harsh on them? There's some interesting insights that come out. We'll go through them as we go along. Just to confirm, this is for full distance, 140.6 distance races. I do have data for 70.3 or half distance. That will come later on. But let's get to it. So in terms of the assumptions and caveats, all the races I have are based on early entry fees. Now, Ironman only introduced its tier system in as in like early entry fees, etc. in around 2019, so it doesn't affect the early half. But later on, as in if you're later on in this tier two, tier three, who let's be honest, how do we, no one really knows how it works. But all the races are early entries because I typically would plan my season out, and when it opens, I register. The processing fees have been included because again, Ironman has done some other changes with processing provider. I got confused. So it's exactly what came off my credit card. And please God, don't let my girlfriend look at this video. Um, Currency conversions, I did do best endeavor on this. I just got because I know a lot of American viewers. So I have euro figures and I have a kind of just a rough conversion using the same exchange rate for all of the Americans dollars. I'm not changing to GBP. You should have stayed with us. Stay in the Eurozone. Oops, my opinions are all my own. Okay, so that sets the scene a bit. And let's start talking through. So these are again first kind of full Ironman I entered was in Barcelona 2014. I paid 504 euros. You can see what the dollar amount is there. That was the start of my addiction. Um, Next year I went back to Barcelona and I paid 530 euros, which is a price increase of approximately 5%. Not too bad. Went back to Barcelona again, 2016, and it's 530 again off my credit card. But caveat on this one, as in this is one of the on-site early registration, so that's probably saving myself 30 to 40 euros. Can't exactly remember that or see the difference, but that is probably a little bit underreported. So, but in theory, on my credit card, 0% increase year on year. Went to Ironman Lanzarote and that was 626 euro, which compared to my previous expenditure was up by 18%. Yikes. But this is a very established race and it always kind of had a higher price point. Ironman Barcelona was in its just coming from being converted from Challenge Barcelona. Went to Ironman Italy the year after, and that was same year, sorry, that was 515 euros, which is actually a decrease of 18%. But caveat, it was the first year, and they typically, when they actually launch an Ironman, they use a lower price point because no one, it's not an established race. Um, then we went to Ironman Austria, and that was 556 euro, up by around 8%. year on year. Next up, we had Ironman Barcelona again, 545. Not a massive increase, as you can see, apples with apples, and it's hard to compare races because I do identify regional differences, but that's down 2% compared on Austria. Okay. Next up, we have Ironman Barcelona again, but the price has started to creep up now, 594. That's up 9%. Um, and then we raced Ironman Cork, €612, which is up by around 3%. As I said, the price is going up again. Ironman Hamburg 606. I was surprised at this actually, as in because it's a very established race. I'm not too sure, and it's a European Championship. I was surprised that that price had kind of dropped a little. I don't know. Again, presume it was a no. Again, it was unusual. I think it might again. These are influenced by kind of post-COVID, etc. So we will try to work that out. Next up, now these are my friends raced Ironman Barcelona last year, and it's up to €621 for 2025, but which is a 2% increase. But then Ironman Barcelona takes a bit of a jump here, €748 for 2025. It's up by 20%. And then it's still going up. It's 876 at the moment, as in to enter. Now I haven't entered this, so I don't know if that's the tier increase affecting it. But again, prices are creeping up. So 70% increase. Overall, over the kind of 12-year period I've looked at, there's a 5% on average increase. But as you can see, there's a lot more movement in the last few years. As you can see here, prices are hiking themselves up accordingly. Um, Okay, so let's look at the US prices. Oh, and by the way, thanks very much for looking and all the rest. Please enjoy, I hope you enjoyed the video. So please give it a thumbs up. And if you are interested in watching the 70.3 price analysis video, or you're considering signing up for any of these races, I have all the race reviews of these races I've raced in the comments below. And I do regular reviews with other athletes who've completed them. So hopefully that will help you. Okay, US analysis. Again, I don't have as much data on this, but this is what we're seeing. I've raced Florida, Texas twice, and I'm based on my friends' sign up for next year. Florida was 845.21. Texas 895.23. 2025 854. Texas again 999. So the prices are going up. 6% on average in the last 3 years. So again, but higher price increases towards the end. Let's talk a little bit about what we think that is. Okay, so guys, my observations, there's definite regional differences. Like some of the even European races, there's a difference in prices. You can see how much was it Spain charges versus Italy, for example. There's a definite upward trend. Always more than inflation. As I said, Europe greater than 5%, with the Eurozone average inflation during the same period is roughly around 2%. America average is 6%, again greater than the rate of inflation. So the credit to where okay, a couple of things. Credit to where credit's due. Ironman have released some price innovations. The tier pricing offered in 2019 to increase demand. I think that was useful. The Flex 90 again released as a result of COVID, where you have a much better option to transfer races or claim back some of the money. And I think this was a reaction to COVID, but it is a better option than when we had beforehand, where you were literally you had no deferral option and you had no transfer option. Still a bit tight on that, and Ironman does get a bit of rightly gets a bit of flack on it, but at least give them credit that the Flex 90 was bought in, so it's always an option you can buy when you're purchasing. We're concerningly we're seeing bigger price increases now with races beginning to sell out again. We're getting back to pre-COVID demand levels. And it's not even it's all races that are seeing a price increase. Even Lanzarote, which will never sell out just because it's a really tough course. But again, props to Lanza if you want to do it. It's an absolute superb race. Even that has seen a kind of a 10% increase in the period I was looking. Um, so are we seeing is Ironman completely fleecing us a year on year and out? Actually, no. But it is beginning to get a little bit potentially greedy as races are selling out again. So if you're keen on a race, just sign up when you want to sign up ASAP because their own the tier prices just ratchet up, and when they do sell out, you don't have an option to get in. Hopefully that was useful. Again, give us a like and a thumbs up. I will be do a similar was it review on 70.3 and I'll release that next week or so. But it's just always kind of interesting. And again, if there's any other race reviews you want to check out, they're all on my channel below. Have a great day, folks.